by the solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Coffee Time with Blind United. Of course, my name is Ed, and I got Brittany with me this morning. Good morning, Britt.
Good morning, everybody.
I have Miss Carol out of Texas with us today. How you doing, Miss Carol?
Good Tuesday, everybody.
And then, of course, my brother back there pressing all them buttons, Pedro.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Taco Tuesday?
Yummy.
All that. So anyway, again, like I told everybody yesterday, this is our fifth week of the month, so we really don't have any interest groups, so ain't nothing to talk about on that level. But I'm going to kind of continue off on some conversation I started off with yesterday. Blind United, man, we're just trying to do what we can, not only to help our community, with training and resources and stuff like that. But at the same time, we're trying to unite our community. We're trying to create that one voice situation, where we can be able to reach out, and when we go to our legislators and stuff like that, if we're speaking with one voice like other groups, we can get some stuff done, rather than sit here year after year after year after year, taking the same bills back and forth. See, a lot of people don't realize when you get a bill go into Congress, get it adopted or whatever, stuff like that. If it doesn't get passed in that year, then it has to be reintroduced with each new Congress. So every time we get a new Congress, we got to reintroduce all of these bills. So, and our problem is, like I said, we don't get a lot of stuff passed. So we're taking the same stuff back year after year after year. We might change some of the verbiage in it here and there, but bottom line is basically the same bill. But I believe that because we're not speaking with one voice, meaning this organization say, no, we need this, and the other organization says, no, we need that, and so on and so forth. Congress sits there and they say, okay, well, I'm not going to make one group mad at me over the other group and vice versa. So when you guys start getting on the same page, that's when we'll get some stuff done. And I think that's what Blind United is here about, to try to create that environment to where we can, be of one voice and move forward together. Like I said yesterday, a lot of different organizations, the bigger organizations, they act like they're in competition with each other, and it goes all the way down even to the little small grassroots organizations, your local organizations and stuff. We all want to seem to be in competition with one another when we should be working together rather than competing with one another, right? So the topic for today is, if I was in charge, what would I do to unite the community? So I'm gonna go around the room and let everybody voice their feelings about what they would do, suggestions on what we could do, right? So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with Britt. Since she's one of my co-founders, I probably know a lot of what she's already got in her head, but it'll be, an opportunity for others to hear, right? So,
Well, Ed, I just think it's kind of difficult because I think at the end of the day, we all, NFB, ACB, whatever, we all have the same goal. It's improving the quality of life for blind people. We just have different ways of making that happen. And that's the hard part. You got a lot of really passionate people, but it's like, okay, well, I know the best way. And and sometimes we don't. I think that a lot of times it's good to get all these people at the table, all these blind leaders, whatever, and just say, hey, what are your thoughts? Because we all want the same thing. We just have different ways of getting there.
I agree. Again, but how do we get each other on that same page?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, I think that yeah, we should work together. It will benefit us. Yes, it can. Work together could benefit us in so many different ways. And things like that. And one of the things we could probably do when it's coming concerning to like Washington D.C. over there. Let's say one organization has a bill they want to pass. Let's say all the organization leadership shows up to that one, and it should be vice versa. So right there, it looks and it feels like it's a one voice thing because everybody's supporting everybody and showing up when they're doing their like DC over there when they're out there to start uniting, start doing things together, and maybe one day we will all go up there together to present a bill or a resolution or something like that.
Right. I mean, because and just so folks know, I mean, when we go, we generally don't take just one bill. I mean, every time I've ever gone, I believe we've taken at least 3 to 4 different bills.
Hmm.
We work in teams when we go. Like it'll be a team of 3 or 4 people, right? And
Hmm.
then we'll show up and well, I mean, there's actually a lot of preparation involved because ahead of time we have to call, we have to set up appointments to see our representatives.
Hmm.
We have to, organize that and schedule it amongst each other because, again, we're working in a team. So we've got a list of, maybe 9 or 10 representatives we need to see over the course of 2 days, right?
Oh
So
wow, so it's a busy schedule.
yeah, it's a busy schedule, so we have to set all that up. We got to make all these appointments. We got to, communicate with one another and say, okay, well, I got an appointment with this representative this time, okay. When we look at it, okay, well, what building are they in? We kind of, because there's 3 major buildings that their representatives are in. It's all one complex, right? It's all
Hmm.
united underground through the tunnels, but you don't want to have to go from building to building and back to the other building, right? You want to try to concentrate on the Cannon building one day, I forget the Reinhardt or whatever. There's 3 different buildings, so you're
Hmm.
trying to concentrate. Okay, this building today, the next day, because I try to do it in 2 days, right? So, I mean, again, they want us to, because we normally leave like on a Thursday. So
Hmm.
we do this Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they give you another half a day on Thursday or whatever. Well, I want to get it done Tuesday, Wednesday. That way I don't have no issues. I can go get on my plane on Thursday and come home without any stress. Plus, once you check out of the hospital, out of the hotel, what you gonna do with your luggage? I'm not gonna drag that luggage around Congress all day.
Right.
So
Hmm.
so I try to get mine. So normally we'll get one bill in one day, and then then we'll split the other bill and we'll do one in the morning, the other one in the afternoon, right? And get stuff done that way. So
Yes.
again, it's more than just one bill. So my point being, I would love to see, like you say, the two major organizations, NFB, ACB, right?
Hmm.
I'd love to see them come together, but I guess the $1 million question is, how do we get them to sit down at the table and agree on a number, certain bills that we're going to take?
Well, it would start with communication, I believe. Maybe from their constituents like us, that we're more in the bottom, start telling the leadership, hey, we need to work together. It needs to be done. We just can't be like, I'm this organization, I'm that organization. If you break it down, it looks like what's happening out in the street.
We're in competition with each other. I mean, we're gang banging. We're Bloods and Crips. I mean, we're
Yeah,
Democrats, Republicans.
yeah,
However,
like why it needs to be like that. It does not need to be like that. We could coincide. The world is big enough. We have so much to contribute. We all do. We
right.
all do.
Especially when it comes to things like that. I mean, the big people of like NFB or ACB, you can get them together, especially when it's time to present these bills and find out, okay, what's on y'all's agenda, and actually share information, and not, be open enough to listen and want, because you may have some similarities that they may have one word that says something totally different based on what you have to share, and y'all can combine that way it will get passed. But I've actually had someone from ACB come and sit in the MFB meeting, or some, vice versa. I'm not part of the ACB or AF. I'm not even sure what the initials are on that one. I know the NFB because I'm part of that. But I've had some people actually come in that are sitting in our chapter, and I don't.
So
They're
ACB
listening.
is actually American Council for the Blind, Carol.
Okay, okay, gotcha. I gotcha. And I
Uh,
guess that's what Carol was it's another Carol that's a part of that here in Dallas.
right,
And she's actually sat in some of the NFB meetings because she, has friends all over the community from working with Envision, which was formerly the Lighthouse for the Blind. But I don't know if she's sitting to gain information or to just share information or gather information. I don't know. But
right.
something
Yeah.
similar to that could happen to where we could find out what each person has to, represent, have to say when it comes time to actually present this bill.
Right, right, right. I mean, and that's my whole thing. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out a way because, in essence, I look at it as okay, I'm not going to claim one is Republican, the other one's Democrat, or, whatever, but it's almost like that's who they are. And we're kind of like the independent in the middle, right?
Right, right,
Yes, I am NFB, but I'm not anti ACB. What
right,
I am is
right,
pro blind, and that's what Blind United is. We're pro blind. So
right,
and I
right,
don't care what organization you belong to. I don't care if it's a major organization or no organization. If you're blind, then I just feel, you're part of the crew. You know what I'm saying? And I have that understanding. I guess one of the major things that we have to get the point across to other folks is, understanding that I may need something different than what you need. You may need something different than what I need. But just because we need something different doesn't mean we can't support each other.
That's
agreed,
correct. That's
agreed.
correct.
You know, I mean, even when it comes to, some of this stuff locally or whatever, I'm not in competition. Blind United is not in competition. We're just out here trying to help the community. So if you want to be in competition or whatever, you think your organization or your group is superior to this group or whatever, hey, you know what? More power to you. You know what I'm saying? If you feel you can make it standing on your own, uh, I mean, check the stats. I mean, look at how long this stuff has been going on, right? Blind people have come a long way in the last 50 years, but we still got a long way to go. And as long as we got folks standing over there on the corner saying, no, it's my way or the highway, okay, well, then we're not going to get there until we have a majority.
Yes,
we got to have that majority in order to get some stuff done. So, again, I'm not in competition. Blind United is not in competition. I would rather work with people, you know what I'm saying? Because we all have our own unique niche, if you will, things that we're trying to do to help the community. And if we package it all up together, right, now we're providing what people need throughout the whole, spectrum of the community,
Yes. And, from what I have learned and my experiences where I've been, everybody contributes something. I'm not good at everything, Ed and Carol, we all specialize in different things. Well, in a unique set of skills that we all have, and bringing those skills together could, will push us forward than just me, myself trying to do everything. And I'm not, I can't just do everything, it takes, when you drive a car, all the parts work together to move that car.
Right.
And then that's what should be with us. Every individual got something to bring, just like every organization has something to bring to the table. And we should be able to coincide and be cool, because I got friends from the CCB, NFB, and then there's the AFC, not the AFC, the one that was talking about the doll, the Barbie doll.
AFB.
There you. Thank you for the correction, Ed. Yeah, and I know someone that is CCB and NFB, So we should all be able to get along, especially the leadership, should be able to come together and push these bills together to make things happen. Like when there's a doorway, you can't have 3 people trying to get in the same time,
No. It's better to become a team and walk in, as a team, single file, you know what I'm saying? And now we all here representing not just our organization, but our community.
Right. Yes. Right.
And all that starts with communication. Like, Pedro, Brittany, Ed, you always saying, it starts with communicating, but it's got to be some kind of portal to where people will want to talk and not fight over, well, I'm right and you're wrong, or no, that's not going to work. This will work.
Yes, it's true. Some people do have that in their mind. I'm right, my way. And a real leader listens to everybody and then makes a decision upon what's going on. The leader don't just assume, oh, my way and the highway. No, a true leader sees what's going on, hears everybody out, makes a decision, not based on his opinion, but of what's happening in the situation in hand. And in that note, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, guys, and we will be back.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
Feeling lucky? Join Blind United for a thrilling day at Viejas Casino and Resort. Slaw Machine. Mark your calendars for Friday, August 9th. We're rolling out from 2 locations, Montclair and Buena Park at 9 a.m. sharp, so don't be late. For just $21, you can enjoy a ride filled with fun, refreshments, and the chance to win big. Remember, space is limited, and the deadline for your payment is July 20th. All bookings are non-refundable after July 20th. Bring your poker face and your ID and get ready for a day of excitement and entertainment. No worries about the drive. We've got you covered. You can just relax there and back. Book your spot now. Contact Cheryl at 909-821-9589, C. Thurston74@gmail.com, or Pedro at 323-631-2122, P. Aguilera at blindunited.org. Let's hit the jackpot together. You can Zelle your payments to Blind United Incorporated by using the email blindunited2022@gmail.com.
Well, again, like I've told folks since we've been playing this thing, don't pay no attention to that July 20th cutoff. Of course, we're beyond that already now. And we are still selling seats. We still have some room available on the buses. So, again, if you would like to go, the rest of the information in there is correct. If you want to get on that bus in Montclair, reach out to Cheryl. If you want to get on that bus in Buena Park, you reach out to Pedro, or you can just Zelle your money to Blind United 2022, or using the email blindunited2022@gmail. And just indicate in the memo line, your name and what bus you want to get on. And I'll make sure that Cheryl and Pedro know that they got another person on their bus, and we can get you added to their roster, add phone number, email, and stuff like that would also help. At least, to info@blindunited.org. That way I know what, how we can reach out to you, make sure you get all your proper contact information, or, stuff like that. So,
Yes,
but
yes. Also bring a valid state ID. It is a casino, so bring some of that. You could bring a light sweater too, because sometimes you could get cold in the bus. So come out, hang out with us, and have a little bit of fun.
that's right. And, whether it's gambling or shopping, whatever your vice is, we can handle both of them that day. So,
Mm.
Sounds
whichever one
fun.
it is, I mean, they
Mhm.
got a pretty good bar, whatever you want to call it, at the casino. You can go over there and just hang out and have a few drinks while you're gambling. Of course, you get to drink while you're gambling, of course. So maybe that's your thing. Just start gambling and sit
And
there and drink
drinking.
for about 5 hours. I don't know.
Might not make it to the bus.
Hey, well, I mean, now ain't nobody's babysitter, so
The
you
last
need.
one I went, I know somebody won like 1,000 something.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah, I mean, you can make some money
nice.
down there. I mean, my preferred place is Vegas to gamble, but I mean, all of them, they couldn't survive if they didn't have some winners here and there, right? Would nobody come to the casino if nobody ever wins? So, but I just still prefer to go to Vegas. To me, the odds are a lot better in Vegas. I mean, it sounds crazy, but especially since where my real gambling comes in is playing blackjack, and the odds are the same regardless, unless you're working from a what they call it, a three-deck shoe or a single deck, dealer kind of thing. So that's the only thing that would change the odds up in there. But again, come on out and hang out with us, have fun, help us raise some money for Blind United. Again, all the interest groups, everything we do is all free. I mean, where else you going to get, like what Pedro does? He does our technology interest group. Man, I mean, folks in Texas that do that kind of stuff, they charge $75 an hour. Out here in California, that stuff costs, $100 an hour. I imagine it varies throughout the various states. But on Blind United, guess what? It's all free. It's all
Yeah,
free, man. I
it
mean,
is free. You
you
know,
know,
and folks, don't take our classes lightly. We do have people in positions that they're either vendors or they work in some type of field within there. For myself, I have vendors sometimes calling me for help with their devices. So we all, like in Blind United, we all have different skills, and it comes out in different Zoom classes that we provide to the community for free. So
Right.
if you'd like to know more, you could contact Ed. Um, for the folks that don't know, info@blindunited.org. And you could contact Ed and see the listings of our different classes we got. And for the ladies, hey, they're winning. They got more. They got classes. They got good turnouts. So for the ladies out there that would like
Ladies'
to
night is
join,
jumping off, man. It's I didn't know
mhm.
that. I wish we'd have started a ladies' night a long time ago. So, but I mean, hey, let them ladies that do their thing. You know, girl power. You know, hey, if we keep going like that, we can get us another Zoom, and we have a lady Zoom and a men's Zoom. I don't know. It's just a lot going on over there. But again, like Pedro was saying, I mean, you know, like Pedro's very, very knowledgeable. He's about to be a vendor for the Department of Rehab. The guy that does our jaws, he is a trainer, instructor at one of the training centers out here in California. You know, Brother George, he's also a vendor back in Texas. You know, so I mean, you know, again, I'm the simple guy. I just teach what I know. I'm not the smartest guy. When I do fill in for whether it's Pedro, George, or Andy, whatever the case may be, you're gonna get some basic stuff, you know. So, but my thing is this, you know, the when this whole thing came about, my whole mindset has been since, you know, from day one, even before Blind United. You know, if I can help you at least get where I'm at, you're doing good, right? Because I mean, I'm living my independent life. I'm paying my bills. You know, I can do what I want to do on the computer, right? So,
Right.
and then when new things come up that that I need to do, I learn what I need to learn in order to accomplish those tasks. I'm not finna run out there and just learn how to do stuff just because. Okay, I leave that to Pedro and George and Andy, and they're just because is in case somebody need it as they moving forward. You know, they might have to give that to. Might need to train somebody on that specific topic. If I'm not doing it, I ain't trying to learn it. So that's just me. But again, everything we do at Blind United is free. You know, we also do scholarships and stuff. We try to help folks out. You know, on that end, we've done a couple where we've helped a couple of students out. I mean, we're gonna kind of change directions a little bit, or just add into it, put another lane on that one. As far as, you know, trying to help people with, you know, where they at, you know, what they need in that moment. You know, maybe they need a jaw subscription, or maybe they need a keyboard or something. I don't know. You know, maybe they just need a flash drive. Whatever the case may be, we're going to try to help them out with that kind of stuff, you know, because that's who Les was. The Les about scholarship is who we named our scholarship in his honor. He was a great guy. I mean, Les was one of them guys that he was just there to help. You know, he would do whatever he could to help everybody. He didn't pay attention to NFB, ACB, whatever. He participated with both of them. I mean, he was a CCB member, but he would hang out with NFB folks. You know what I'm saying? He'd go to NFB fundraisers. He'd do, I mean, if it was just a fundraiser, if it had to do with the community, he was there to help, you know. And then if you needed training, Les would, man, I cannot tell you how many hours that man spent with me, working with me, helping me get to where I'm at, you know. So, you know, we just want to honor him and do that in his name. I think it's a great thing to do. That's another way to unite the community. So that's just one thing we do, you know, working with other folks. Like I say, you can't give. Man, Jimmy's doing a lot of great stuff, you know. I mean, there's some other organizations coming up. We got you know, like I said, Diamond Club, they getting ready to go to Vegas. Who was that? One of the NFB chapters in LA, the Pathfinder chapter, they getting ready to have their annual barbecue coming up, you know. So, man, I'm down with all of that. I mean, if they down with the work with us, I mean, whether they are or not, I'm going to promote them because that's who we are. Blind United, we're here to try to let everybody know, no, we're right here in the middle. We're promoting what people are doing. As long as it's positive, I'm good with it. So that's my way of feeling that we can unite the community. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hate you just because you're one organization over the other one. Whatever, that's your business. I mean, as long as you're doing something positive to help the community, I'll promote you. You know, so that's my spell on it. So
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it can be ego. I don't know what could it be, but we should be able to work together. And I know most people do. But just sometimes it seems like we're all divided in certain issues and stuff. But that aside, we're all in the same boat. We all have vision impairment, one way or another, depending on what it may be or whatever illness you may have. But we're all in the same boat. We all want to get to get things for the for the blind community. One example is in all the sidewalks. You see that little ramp that the wheelchair people have. Even those little bump dots that we call them bump dots or barrel dots, they're actually for the wheelchair to get more grip and slow down. But we use them. But I believe they were able to accomplish this speaking with one voice. In our
exactly.
community, in our cities, we don't have in every light a guide, audible guide, or anything like that, or a vibrational sign. There's some folks that don't want that beep, they're sighted, and don't want that beep in their neighborhood, and it's a main street. So what are you complaining about? But if they don't, there's alternatives, even the ones that vibrate and stuff like that. But we need the vibration and we need the audible cues. We need both, in my opinion, not just one or either or, you
Well,
know.
I mean, in today's world with technology, I mean, it doesn't have to beep 24/7, right? It
Hmm.
could be one of the things where it's only activated when you hit the button,
When you push it. That's
Hmm.
right. Only
you
when you
know,
push it.
when you push that button, that's letting the system know that you want to cross that street in that direction. So when the light turns green for you, it starts beeping in that direction. A lot of people don't realize that simple sound, that little simple sound helps us get across the street because what are we doing? We're walking towards that sound.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's what gets us across the street. And then when the sound changes, right, we know, oh shit, don't walk just came on. I need to pick up my pace, right?
Right.
And let me hurry up and get across this street, right? So, I mean, there's just so much little
And
stuff that could be
um
done.
look, the city planners that planned all this stuff, right? All this could be installed. It could be installed, right? But it's gonna take us back how all this all they want is something simple. Here, boom, the sound is there. Oh, okay, there. Boom. Now we got neighbors and other neighborhoods complaining and things like that, right? Well, they could have advised and talked to the blind community. Even somebody with technical skills and knowledge in that could give you. Look at it, what he just gave you. They could stop it when no one is pushing the button, but once the button's active, they can make it go on. It, the simple fix. That how fast it could have been fixed. If we thought of this, I know they thought of this, but the money that it's going to require and all that, and sometimes when it comes to the state and counties, they always get a overcharge, and we end up paying double what it actually cost.
That's
And I say
right.
we because we pay taxes.
Exactly.
You know,
Well, that's another misconception. Oh, they blind. They don't work. They don't pay taxes. No, you don't realize. Okay, your Social Security income is taxable income. Okay,
mm-hmm.
so and not all of us are just on Social Security. Some of us make money other ways, and we pay taxes on that. I
That's
mean,
right.
And besides that, we pay sales tax. tax.
all of
We
that. I
pay
mean,
gas tax. I put gas money. I put gas on my mom's car. I put gas on a ride's car when they give me a ride.
right. We buy groceries, you
We buy
know.
groceries.
We
That's
pay
right.
utilities bills,
Yes, we
all of that
do.
stuff. There's taxes. What is there not being taxed right now? I mean, there's taxes
Hmm.
on every damn thing.
Everything.
So it's not like
Everything.
we don't pay taxes. We're still paying taxes. I would imagine that once you get everything all accumulated and accounted for, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're probably paying, 15, 20% of our income in taxes around the city, in the various
Hmm.
things, fast food, whatever. It just,
And and if somebody has the secret code that they don't pay taxes, please pass it over. I want to know.
Pass it. Pass it.
I want to know. I want to pass it over because I want to
uh,
see it.
Not only do we pay taxes, we pay double for devices that you visual people don't. If I
Yeah.
have high blood pressure and I can go to Walgreens, or you have high blood pressure and you could get a machine that costs $10 because you can see it, but I would have to pay triple that
Yeah.
just to make
Even
it talk.
yeah. Even on microwaves. So let's check this out. We could go find a 40, 50, $60 microwave, right? It's visual.
Right.
But if you want a talking microwave, hey, it's gonna run you a few $100. It
Yes, it
could be
will.
200 to 300, almost $400.
and the
And it's
sad part about it
small.
is, it's not even as good as that
No,
$60 microwave. It's not as
no, it's not.
powerful. It's just
That's
because
the
it talks.
sad part.
Because
Yeah,
it
that's the
talks.
sad part because they sell it up. Oh, it talks, it talks. Well, when your microphone beeps and lets you know the food is done, what you think is beeping with? A little tiny speaker.
Exactly. So I mean,
Hmm.
what's the difference from changing from a beep to a voice? I mean, it's
That's
just
right.
it's just a sound chip.
It's a
Is
sound chip. That's
is
all it
all it
is.
really is. So I mean, again, they because they throw that accessibility, what they want to call feature into it. They figure they can triple the price. You know what I'm saying? And
And,
no, that's not fair. It's
and this
really
goes
not.
for products, appliances, medical products. We always pay an up price. Always when it comes to something that needs to speak. And then if the insurance doesn't cover it, because they might just cover a basic one, and they might not cover these special needs ones, like for the ones that talk. Your insurance might not even cover, and it comes out of pocket.
If
So,
they
It does.
have one that talks. I mean, now don't get me wrong, some of them do. I do have a talking blood pressure cup, right? But
hmm,
Right.
we've taken bills to DC, going back around, right? Medical devices like glucose machines and stuff like that. There's so many different medical devices now, because of the high medical insurance costs, whatever. They're trying to do a lot of stuff where you can do stuff at home rather than do it in the office, coming in and all this other kind of stuff, right? But the equipment, go to the farmer, like I said, go to Walmart, Walgreens, Save-Ons. Well, I ain't no more Save-On, but Rite Aid or, whatever, any of them, right? CVS, and try to find a talking thermometer for you to take your temperature.
Hmm.
Okay. You can't get them.
Nope.
Again, a lot of these glucose machines are, some, again, it's just different machines that you need. They don't talk to you. I mean, back to even with the folks with diabetes again, they got these auto insulin machines now that automatically give your insulin. You don't know what it, I mean, it gives a sequence of beeps, right? But unless you know what those beeps mean, you're in trouble,
Right.
right? I mean, why can't we have, your insulin is getting low, or your sugar is such and so, we're getting, whatever. It lets you know that you're getting ready to get an injection of insulin or something, right? I mean,
Right.
that's what it's there for. You want to know what it's doing. You want to know what it's doing, but because it doesn't talk to you, you don't know what the hell it's doing. So,
That's right.
again, that's another bill we've taken to DC and it hasn't not gotten passed yet. We've had this conversation before. Who was that? The analogy we used the other day when we were listening to the Be My Eyes thing, right? The analogy is when you're going to bake some blueberry muffins, is it better to put the blueberries in after you bake the muffins or mix them in with the batter and
Mm,
have them in there from the beginning?
that's right.
It's always going to be better to do it from the beginning. So when you're developing these devices, signal lights, whatever, it doesn't matter. If you put that in there from the beginning, then you don't have to worry about how to adapt it to it later on.
That's
Yeah,
right.
basically what Ed is saying, it needs to come standard
Yeah,
Yeah.
across the whole field. And then
Do it
it
right
would
the
take
first time.
a bill and a policy to get these things done and put some guidelines so companies know to put these accessible features on their devices. So like that, certain companies cannot double or triple the price on these devices. And 70% of people in disability are in a fixed income, especially in the blind community. That's what I'm talking about. The statistics of us that are not working and are on a fixed income is around 70%. That's almost three-quarters of the blind community. So we are on a fixed income. Imagine trying to buy a microwave that's 300, a blood pressure cup that's 100. Let's say now you need a washer and a dryer that speaks or it's Wi-Fi enabled. That's 500, like $800 almost. It builds up. It builds up in a fixed income. It can build up and feel like an impossible task.
right. But if it was
Overwhelming.
all, like I said, if it was all in there and it's a standard feature that only need to turn on, it's not only going to help us. I mean, think about how a speech feature would help folks with dyslexia. That when they read, they see the numbers wrong or they see the letters wrong, right?
Mhm.
That
Right.
speech feature is going to help them as well. You know what I'm saying?
And
I mean, it's just so many. It's not just for our community. It's actually for everybody. I mean, seniors as they start getting older and their vision starts getting worse, right? They
mhm.
need that stuff, right?
That's right.
I
That's right.
mean, you
Yes.
know, it's
And
just
even sighted people, it would be nice you could do it and put it down and just hear your reading. And I know people take advantage of this. I know some people that use our voiceover feature, like it's used like this. There's a feature that's called Speak All, right? You activate it, and when you have like a document or whatever it may be, that's like a book, they just select everything and put Speak All, and it would just start speaking like voiceover to them. Some people use that feature. Some people imagine you have somebody that wants a reading, they get the blood pressure, and it just speaks to them, and they could just type it in without looking at the screen. Like it's more convenient, and this is something Apple has Chrome accustomed to. Steve Jobs was saying, "Let's make it simple, simple. Less steps, the better." And that's how the iPhone, the iPad, the iPod, and all that was so intuitive because it was easy to use. You know, and now when you put more guesswork and put on more stuff into it, it's more of a daunting task. But once you give the person the 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 way to do it in a faster and more better way, they're gonna use that more. It's like using Siri. When you can send a quick message, you do Siri, even though sometimes she acts up. But what we do, we pick it up and do it right quick because we know it could be done right fast. Even
well,
sighted folks are using like
Or
the audible thing, like the voice messages.
a perfect example of how sighted people can use is like my daughter. She's an administrative nurse, right? She does a lot of various emails and stuff like that, right? So back when she used to have to commute back and forth to work, I showed her how to use voiceover and dictation and all that kind of stuff, right? So she would use voiceover as she was commuting, okay, read this email. And then she'd read it and then she's okay, reply to that email. And then she would dictate it. All of that while she's commuting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she was saving time and, and being productive while she was sitting in traffic trying to get home.
Well, I pose the same question for visual people. How would you feel if they charged you to use GPS? If you, every time you have to go someplace, you have to be charged a little bit more every time you program where that address is. Because we being non-visual or visually impaired, we're having to pay a little extra just for something to talk to us. But what if you had to pay for GPS to just get around? How would
Right,
you feel about that?
right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a whole nother one right there. I mean, I'm just amazed that people just can't remember how to get to the store on the
How to
corner
get
anymore.
around the corner?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we
and
have
and
to walk, I mean, or use or utilize transportation to get here or there, and that cost us.
Well, my old ass, like I said, we didn't have all that old GPS and all that stuff when I was coming up. We used a book. It
Me
was
either. We
called
use
the
the book. It
Thomas
was
Guide.
maps,
Yeah, Thomas
right?
Guide was a map book, and you had to go to the back of the book and find your street and 100 block, and that would tell you what page you had to go to, and then you had to go to B7,
That's right.
and
And
then you had
find it.
and then you had to route yourself backwards from there to where you are, so you knew how to get where you were going. But nowadays, I mean, people that are friends of mine, I've had they, we've been hanging out for years. They know where I live. I've been in this house for 5 years, but yet every time they give me a ride home. What's your address here? What do you need my? What so I can set my GPS? You don't remember how to get to my house? I
mm-mm.
mean, they just
But if they had to pay for that, that would be interesting. A little bit more. How would they feel?
right, but they've also just come so accustomed to, what, just let the little device direct me, you know. And some of them are better because some of them do take you around traffic and stuff like that, let you know when there's an accident on the freeway or whatever. All that's good stuff. But like Carol said, what happens if they charge you every time you used it?
Yeah. And my
Yeah,
point
we
being is you
do.
can see. So I mean, you can see. So why not give us something when we can't
Hmm.
see that can help us that wouldn't
Yeah.
cost as much, where you have something with your eyes that you could just use looking at the
Yes.
streets or what have you, and you have this free to you. It's so simple for you when you can see, but here it is, we can't, or we're
Yeah.
visually impaired and we have to pay extra just to try to navigate
For
for anything.
yeah, for example, I know what some side people may say. There's Google Maps, there's Apple Maps. Yes, there are, but they're made more for visual folks, honestly. And even visual folks have their favorite app to jump back and forth, have their features. Well, we do have an app in our blind community, but you have to pay up to $30 for the application, and it's a
Hmm.
GPS one. So what
Mm-hmm.
Carol is talking about is a real thing that happens to us. Okay. Um, I know they call it a turn by turn, but it's only utilized for cars. Now they have walking directions, but they didn't have us in mind. They still give you walking directions like if you were in a car. It will be nice if they could get you more detail since you're walking, like 4 buildings down or something. I know something
Right.
like that you wouldn't need when you're driving, you
No.
know, because you can see it and you're driving by. But let's say you're walking down a sidewalk. Let's say the map tells you, okay, 3 buildings down is your location. Then now you have a quick idea. Okay, 1 building, two
But
buildings.
see,
So
they
here,
kind of
turn left.
have something like that. And as far as Google Maps are concerned, I remember my daughter was telling me, like, so as they're going places, right? She turns on Google Maps. It's actually giving her a visual of what's coming up in front, what businesses, what stores, whatever, right?
It
You know,
does.
and then you could say, you could also punch it that, you know what, uh, I'm getting hungry. Give me the fast food, or where's the McDonald's or whatever on my route, right? And I mean, it just gives you that visual. You know what I'm saying? So you can see a block or two in front of you of what's coming up. Oh, okay, there's a McDonald's up there and a block away. So get over in the right lane so we can turn into the McDonald's.
Yes.
Whatever, you know.
Well, they do have like when these new maps, they're new updates, they both have it. When you set up a route and you're going, they have options. They have a few buttons that tell you gas, quick food and other things. So like you tap on food, it will start showing you things around your route and you could pick one. But it takes more time scrolling and scrolling when you're blind and it's a
That
hassle.
part,
It's
that
there. It's there, but it's not easy to use.
it's not
Also,
easy to navigate to.
yes,
No.
and they also have a feature that's called Street View, okay? And
Right,
Street
and I guess
View,
that's what I'm talking about. D was telling me that's the one that shows you what's coming up in
yes,
front of you.
and that would the way I was explaining about telling us 3 buildings down and letting us buy audible cues, that will be our type of street feature for a blind person. If any tech company is listening that is GPS, thank you, Pedro. That's what I could tell, man. If y'all use my idea. But they could make it easy. There's ways, and working together always accomplish these tasks, folks. I know we're coming up on the top of the hour pretty soon, but speaking from one voice, walking in that door, not at the same time, supporting each other, helping each other out in the blind community could accomplish a lot. And that's what we were talking about in this episode of Coffee Time. And good topic, good topic.
I
Very
mean,
good topic.
exactly. I mean, like I said, you know, we're speaking with one voice. All of these things that we were talking about just now, you know, we all walk in there and we say the same thing. Guess what? We're going to get it. But if one of them walks in there and says, well, yeah, we need that, and the other one walks in and says, no, we don't need that, Congress is not going to go against one for the other. They're just not going to do it. They're going to wait till you get on the same page, and then that's when they start acting on something. Because again,
Yeah,
they're all
yeah.
about their vote. They don't want to piss you off to where you don't vote for them, right? So,
Mhm. So it's like a car dealership, right? You walk in, right? Let's say you walk in to buy a car, and then you have two different salesmen trying to sell you the same car, but they want to sell it to you different ways,
right.
you
You
know?
know, so
So,
it's all crazy. But again, folks, one voice. Again, if you're from our community or not, I mean, even sighted communities. If you think about it, look at the examples I use. The blind community, I mean, the deaf community, they got TTY, they got closed caption, they got a lot of different stuff out there, right? The folks in wheelchairs, man, where do you go nowadays that you don't have a wheelchair ramp or have an extra wide door? I mean, even nowadays they have the automated door to where if it doesn't have a sensor that picks you up, it has a button that you can hit it with your hand and then the door opens and you roll right on in, right? You don't have to roll up to the door and then try to roll backwards to open the door and hold the door while you roll in it no more. Why? Because then people went in there with one voice. They got all that
mhm.
stuff straightened out. You know, how do I go in the bathroom? The stall is not big enough for me to get in there with my chair. Okay, well, every bathroom now has a wheelchair accessible stall, right? Why?
Mhm.
Because they all went in there and spoke with one voice. That's all we got to do. The same thing. You know, we ain't trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just trying to put all the spokes in it. That's all we're trying to do right now. You know,
Mhm.
if we get everybody to speak with one voice, we'd be a lot better off as a community and we get a lot more stuff done. I mean, don't get mad because I want an audible signal and you don't. Again, think about this. We're talking about audible signals and people don't necessarily want them in their neighborhoods. How many actual signal lights are in residential neighborhoods? there's stop signs. There's not signals. The signals are on the main boulevards.
That's right.
We have speed bumps. Why
I mean,
not? Why not
again,
that?
why not that? I mean, come on now. Stop signs. I mean,
The
that's
hey, hey, the noise keeps me up.
okay. Well,
And
no.
we just presented how to solve that problem. I don't know why no one has come to the conclusion of doing it like that. It's weird. It's not weird, but I like it's funny. It's funny because us talking about it, we come up with an idea like that, but
I
they
mean,
have
you could even
teams and they don't come
you.
up with an idea like that.
I
Well,
mean,
we
you
should
could.
brainstorm and then just get things together to where we can present it and get paid for it.
I
And
mean,
then we can make these things change.
all of that. I mean,
Hire me as a consultant. I'm right here.
I'd like to start a. Well, I don't want to put it out there because I don't want somebody to steal our little
They
idea.
will. They will. So don't do it. Don't
you
do
know,
it.
I mean, there's some things out there that we could use that other people can't use, but it would definitely help us out when we're trying to do stuff. So it is what it is. So
Get a patent
Yeah.
for it. That's my suggestion. Because if get a patent, because someone will steal it.
Yeah. So speaking with one voice, guys, can get so much accomplished. It's true. The deaf people got TTYs. Even behind the walls and stuff like that. Hey, they have their TTY machines. Unfortunately, in those situations, there's not a lot of braille material at all.
no,
So,
look at the case they just settled in I think it was Carolinas or something back there. I mean, blind folks were, man, they were just miserable. I mean, don't get me wrong. You say, okay, well, you're in jail, you're being punished, whatever, but you have certain standard, basic human rights, regardless, right?
mhm.
And these folks were being treated like subhumans in there.
You do. Unfortunately, I had that experience in there being blind. There's hardly any material to read, and to try to get material. Oh my God, you know what I mean? So when a regular inmate or a regular person with sight can just grab a book and read even the Bible, there was no braille material,
None of
hardly
that.
any
No
large
audio,
print,
nothing.
no audio, no
You
nothing
know,
like that. So you're
well,
stuck.
and another thing for us, our community, I mean, we talk about this all the time with the you can't give a initiative kind of thing. Jimmy, what would you do without your cane? Get your butt
Hmm.
locked up. You ain't going to have no cane because they're going to
No,
take it
they
because
won't give
it's
it
a
to you.
weapon,
You don't have
Yes.
a cane.
No,
So
you're
now, how am
absolutely
I going
right.
to,
And you
how
know
am
what they
I,
tell you? Oh, somebody, who wants to be guiding, and they want, oh, who wants to volunteer? Oh, ask somebody to help you. Somebody always, so meaning I have to go everywhere with someone, you know what I mean? Then
right.
oh man, it's crazy.
It don't work. It don't work, folks. It don't work. So on that note, again, right quick, you can't give initiative, y'all. YouCan'tGive.org. Jimmy, let's help him out. Like I said, how would you live without your cane? I couldn't do it.
I couldn't either, Ed.
So we want to do what we can to help him. So whether you got a broke down cane you want to donate, or you got some money you want to donate, or whether you want to buy a new cane or some accessories for your cane or whatever, YouCan'tGive.org. Jimmy can hook you up and help you out with all that. You know what I'm saying? And all the proceeds from whatever you do with him are going to go towards that YouCan'tGive.org. Again, the business for where you can get your cane and stuff like that is Custom Cane with a K. Man, I love my custom cane. Everybody that sees my custom canes, man, where'd you get that at? Man, that's bomb. So again, don't be playing. Go custom cane. Do your thing. Get your favorite sports team, or I don't know. Maybe you just want a cane with a bunch of little flowers on it or something. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat.
Maybe you want a cane that spells out your name.
that part right there, whatever, you know. I mean, I had one, you know, for this girl that had to help her, hooked her up. She got one made that had Bible verses on it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Just different stuff. But there's no limit to what Jimmy can do, you know. So, hey, check it out. CustomCane.com with a K, and Jimmy will make it happen for you. So, on that note, I appreciate everybody from coming in. I know we're getting ready to bounce. Brittany, is there anybody in the comment section?
No, nobody's in the comments section.
Nobody loves us today?
No, not today.
My baby's out there listening. I know she's right there.
Okay, well, I know Monica's listening too. She's probably at Access trying to get to Anaheim, so
Hey, Monica.
it's all good. We love
Hey,
you,
baby.
sweetheart. Have a great day out there. Enjoy your Olive Garden later on.
We're out there today, guys, and we do this. This is just a friend meetup. We're just inviting everybody. I'm inviting different folks, and it's just to keep us united. You know, as Blind community, get out, have some fun, meet new people, and stuff like that.
We're just a bunch of folks trying to live our best life. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's all it is. And we all want that. We all want to improve our quality of life. That's what Blind United is about. We're improving everybody's quality of life. If you're in the community, we want to do whatever we can to help you live your best life. So on that note, everybody have a fantastic Taco Tuesday. Eat a couple tacos for me. Maybe I'll get lucky and have some tacos for dinner tonight. I don't know.
Hey.
It would be good. So say
I'm
this.
having pasta.
Yeah. I'll go ahead on with that pasta. I'm not a pasta guy, but
You're the pasta guy or what?
I'm not a pasta guy.
Okay.
You know, but I mean, I would go for the company. I enjoy hanging out with my folks. So if it wasn't so far away, I'd be hanging out with y'all today, Pedro. So, but on that note, everybody have a great day, and we'll see you guys on the next one, and hopefully we'll have an even more interesting topic tomorrow. I don't know. I'll scratch my head and try to come up with one for tomorrow. So I appreciate everybody. I appreciate all the volunteers. Help Blind United do what we do on a regular basis. So on that note, everybody have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.